Hi friends, welcome to another Woolverine video. This is actually a second take, but I wanted to show you my neat little Sentro knitting machine. It has a row counter. It's a 48 needle machine, so it's a little bit, I think 2 needles bigger than the Addy king size. It has a tensioner here, an automatic tensioner. It can be set to tube or panel. So if you want to do a flat panel, you can. If you want to do a tube, which is what I've been doing to make hats, you can. I'm finding that it works best with a 4-weight worsted or Aran weight yarn. I did try some Red Heart Hygge yarn, and it was just too bulky. It did not work. It would not hook the yarn for whatever reason. So today I wanted to show you how it works in action and just kind of make a quick hat. So I have here some Premier Everyday yarn. It is a 4-weight worsted acrylic yarn. It's anti-pilling. I mean, it's nothing too fancy. Super bright pink. And I only have one skein of it, so I figured it'll be perfect for hats. I have been doing my hats with 117 rows, and that seems to be just perfect if you like a double layered hat that you can fold up the brim on. If you wanted a shorter hat or a single layered hat, you could do that. Although with the single layered hats, I'm not quite sure how to address it. They do curl up. So you might have to do sort of a hem on it if you wanted to do a single layered hat. So let's see, the way that this works is you're going to take a nice long piece of yarn, kind of dangle it in the middle, starting immediately to the left of the white needle. You're going to thread your string in front of one, and then behind the next needle, in front of the next needle, behind the next needle. And it's falling off because I'm not holding it correctly. So once you have your tail, you thread it in front of, right? And then, there we go. Behind, in front, behind. And you go all the way around in the same fashion. And then once you've gone all the way around, you can start cranking out your hat. Of course, you want to start slowly so that you don't drop stitches. So far, using a 4-weight yarn, I have not had a single drop stitch. When I did try to use the Hygge, I might actually splice that video into this one. It dropped almost every stitch. So it really depends, I think, on the weight. I have made a DK weight hat with this machine, and it worked out well. It's just kind of loosely woven, so you know, it might not be ideal for a really heavy winter like here in Colorado if you're doing a single layer, but I think a doubled layer acrylic hat, it's fine. I got this so I can make hats for the homeless here in my local community, and I was doing crochet hats. So now my goal is to do at least one hat every day so that over the course of a year I can give at least 365 people a new hat. So we'll see how that goes because this thing is really quick. I actually made 4 hats in one day when I first got it. So maybe I can even beat my own goal, which would be pretty cool. So you just keep going all the way around, same fashion, in front and back, in front and back, all the way around. It's not really much to it. And then when you reach, we're almost there, when you reach the white needle, that'll mark the end of your circle, and you're going to put the yarn through this yarn guide here, and then into your tensioner down below, depending on what tension you want. And it's got 3 different holes, but you can actually do, you can thread it through 2 holes for tighter tension. You can do just like in the middle, seems to be a really good tension for 4-weight yarn. For the DK weight, I did throw it through 2, and it worked out okay. The spacing in the needles means that, you know, even with a tight tension, you're not going to get a super tightly woven kind of hat with the DK weight yarn. So I highly recommend a 4-weight. So we're back around to the beginning now, and I'm just going to crank it until the white needle is right on the right side of the thread guide. You're going to go ahead and put your yarn through that, and then of course choose your tension. I like to pull a little bit of extra yarn out just so that there's not extra tension on the machine, and then slowly just start to crank. And then after I've gone around 2 or 3 times, I can get going really fast with this thing, and it's a lot of fun. As some of you know, I'm bedridden a lot of the time, so sometimes I'm using it in my bed and it does work just fine. So if you are in a similar situation with your health where you're spending a lot of time in bed, this is a great little machine. It does take some adapting, just in the way that you hold it, because you know, I don't have a table on my bed. I should probably get one, but I don't have one. So if you're not at a table, it can still work. You just have to kind of adapt the way that you're using it. So it's more of a vertical than horizontal approach that way. All right, so I've done 3 rows now. And again, I'm gonna just pull out some more excess yarn, sort of set it here, and then you can really get cranking. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this hat, and then when I get to about a row 116, I'll come back and we can finish it off. So I'll see you guys when I get to that point. Alright friends, so I have reached row 117, and I'm going to show you quickly how to finish your work on one of these little knitting machines. So basically what you're going to do is trim a fairly long length of yarn from your working end, from the skein, and then you're going to remove it from the tensioner and the yarn guide. You're going to spin the machine around 1 time with no yarn, and then take it off stitch by stitch. So let me grab my tools and I will be right back to show you how to do that. As you guys can tell, I'm like a super professional YouTuber, and that's why I had all my tools at the ready and I didn't have to turn it off and go get them or anything like that. I will probably film a little intro that tells you this beforehand, but you should have a yarn needle and a pair of scissors when working with the knitting machine. I was so excited to get started I forgot to grab them. So you're going to cut a fairly long length of yarn. I like to make it ridiculously long just in case. And then set the skein aside. You have a little bit of leftover yarn. You're going to remove the yarn from the tensioner here on the side and the yarn guide, and then you're going to go 1 time all the way around with no yarn. It actually rolls a lot smoother than this, but since I'm doing it one-handed, it sounds like it's struggling. It's really not. That's just me. So So you're going to go all the way around until the white needle is just to the right of the yarn guide. So right about here. And then you're going to string or thread your needle. I like to tie it just so it doesn't fall off. You don't have to. Everybody does everything their own way. No right or wrong. And you're going to start picking up stitches with your yarn needle. And I'm sorry if you guys can't see this that well. So basically, as soon as the white needle is passed, you're going to start with the needle directly to the left of the white needle. You're going to pick up that stitch. Pull it through. You did drop a stitch here, no biggie. Just gotta pick those up. It's just like regular knitting, you have to pick up the stitches. I do find it helpful to hold the next stitch down. Sorry if my hands are in your way. So I'm holding the next stitch down with my fingers so that while I'm threading these stitches, it doesn't come off. Because especially at the beginning, that'll happen. And you definitely don't want to drop stitches. So you just slide it. There's like these two, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's like these two little plastic bits, and you just go right in the groove in between to pick up the stitch. I tend to put a lot of them on my needle at once and then come back around. Just because it's more expeditious to do so. Again, no wrong way to do this. If you're not dropping stitches, then you're doing it right. So it's pretty easy peasy. I'm just going to continue going all the way around. As you can see, I did drop a stitch here, and I'm going to fix that with the crochet needle, or crochet hook, I mean. Basically just pick it up and re-knit that part. Not really sure what happened. I haven't actually dropped any stitches before, so I've got to look at the manual on how to fix it because I have no idea. I'm new at this too, so we're learning together. But I'm just going to keep going all the way around and picking up the stitches as I go. And you don't have to worry too much about a drop stitch at the end of your work because you are going to, when you're making a double layered hat, you're going to stitch the ends up anyway. So not a huge deal if you do drop a stitch at the end. If you drop a stitch in the middle, however, I do highly recommend fixing that. Let's see. So I'm just going to keep going all the way around, like I said, and then pulling my yarn through. And what ends up happening is after you have all the stitches off of the machine and onto your string, you can pull this tight like a drawstring and it'll bunch up the end of the hat. And then you just make a couple of stitches to secure it and do the same on the other end. Okay, so I have gone ahead and taken the hat off of the machine. Sorry, I'm trying to give you guys a good view of what I'm doing here. So I've taken the hat off of the machine and I still have the stitches on my needle. So I'm just going to pull my needle through all of the stitches. And then see, it's an open tube here. This is where I dropped that stitch. And so you find the drop stitch and then you basically, you can use a crochet hook for this. I'm just going to use this needle really quick. See how there's like a ladder? You just pull the next rung of the ladder through the loop and then do the same thing on the next one and then same thing on the next one. And one more time. And there we go. And now our stitch is undropped or picked up. We picked up the stitch. So it's not, I passed it on my way and then I came back to it. So I have another one here too. it's all right, just hold on to that loop. So I'm just gonna do a couple stitches through this. I did pull the starting yarn tight, doing the same thing I did to the other end, just stitching through, making it nice and secure. When I feel like it's nice and secure, I'll just tie a little knot and pull that tight as well. So we have a nice long tube, like a deflated sausage. It's like closed on both ends and nice and wide in the middle. So we're going to tie a knot, pull your needle through, make sure it's good and snug, and again, leave that tail. We're going to use it to sew the two sides together. So this is what I have so far. It's this long tube of sausage. So then you're going to kind of open it up and put one end inside of the other. Pick whichever end you think looks best to go on the outside. Doesn't really matter, they're the same. Okay, starting to look like a hat a little bit, huh? And then you can thread your yarn needle with the outside yarn. Again, thread your needle. This is no additional yarn, we're still using the ends that we made earlier. And you're just going to go through both layers of the hat and back through. And you're just going to do this a couple of times to secure the ends to each other so that you don't end up with a weird sausage type hat. And it turns the two layered hat into one hat. So I just do maybe, 5 or 6 stitches just to kind of tack them together. And then if you want to, you can add a pom-pom. I do have some fur pom-poms here. I'm not sure what color I would do for this particular hat. But as you can see, it's really nice and thick and smushy and warm. I mean, this is going to keep somebody really warm. And it's so soft. I wish you guys could feel this because this yarn is worth the knots for how soft it is. I will probably be buying more of this yarn specifically for this purpose. Just because it is so lovely, and I would love for our homeless neighbors to have something nice to put on that's made with love. I was crocheting these by hand for the past, I want to say 4 years, and my hands have gotten to the point where it's really difficult for me to do that quantity, so I'm really excited about this knitting machine and how many people it's going to allow me to help. But that's basically it. You just knit a long tube of fabric. I have found on the Sentro that 117 rows is just about perfect, because then you get this nice long hat and you can fold up the bottom. Again, you can put on a pom-pom if you so desire, and if not, then you're basically done. If you do want to put on a pom-pom, sorry for the crinkles. I don't know what color to do, maybe, I don't know, maybe a light pink or almost black, like a dark brown. Oh, that kind of looks cute. Let me know in the comments what color pom-pom I should put on this hat. I might already do it by the time I see your comment, but I'm interested to see. Could also do bright pink. So here, I'll put these all. Which one do you guys like the best? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I need to know. I'm so bad at decision making. Even when it comes to a pom-pom on a hat. So tell me which one you guys think I should use, and I'll have to check in on your comments and see what everybody's idea is. I feel like the bright pink one is really fun, but I don't know, I kind of like all of them. So there's the gray one, bright pink, white. This is kind of like a dark chocolate brown. I kind of like that one. And then there's like a lighter kind of blush peachy color. I mean, I'm sure that I could probably do any and all of them and they would be fine. So you can see the little halo of Tribbles. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that episode of Star Trek or not, but there's an episode where they have these little furry guys called Tribbles everywhere. It's called The Trouble with Tribbles. It's a great episode if you haven't seen it. I just have too many. See, I have too many decisions that I can choose from. So tell me what color to use. Oh my goodness. Here, how about we number them? So let me take you guys off the stand here. All right, we'll have everybody vote. So kind of blackish gray will be number 1. It's got like gray ends. It's mostly black. Bright pink, number 2. Sort of gray, number 3. White, number 4. I do like the way that pops. Chocolate brown will be number 5. Let's call this a peach blush. Will be number 6. A slightly tannish color, number 7. And then this, what is that, like fox fur looking one, multicolored brown I guess, will be number 7. So, oh sorry, number 8. So let me know in the comments down below which one you guys think I should put on this hat. I'm going to be making more hats, so if yours doesn't get picked, don't feel bad. I might do a big reveal video and show you guys, and if I get 3 more subscribers and hit 100, I will do another giveaway. So maybe it will be a combination hat unveiling new giveaway. I know this is probably the highlight of everybody's day. I know it is mine. I love these little fur balls. So I am going to watch Harry Potter with my kids. My son, who is homeschooled, just finished the 3rd book, so we're going to watch the movie. I'm going to turn this around so I can do my sign off. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. At the time I'm making this video, I'm at 97 subscribers, which is amazing. I never thought I'd get my first 50, let alone my first 100. So 3 more people and we're there, and I will absolutely do another giveaway for reaching 100 people. So let me know which Tribble to put on the hat. Just leave a number and then I'll have to watch my own video to remember which number each one was. And let me know if there's any content that you guys would like to see more of. I am going to rest for a little while, watch Harry Potter with my kids, and then when that's done I'll be making a Tribulus terrestris tincture for an order that I got. So I will make a video of that for you guys as well. If you're here for the herbal stuff and you haven't seen any herbal stuff, I'm sorry. I have not been well, and I'm currently dealing with a bit of a family emergency that has me frazzled, to say the least. So I appreciate your patience with me. But yeah, let's get 3 more subscribers and then I will do another giveaway for 100 subscribers, which is huge. So pick your Tribble, and don't forget that you are sacred, beloved, special, precious beings, and I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for being a part of my channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support you guys have shown me over the past few weeks. Just so everybody knows, I am mostly recovered from the spider bite. Now I'm just dealing with my regular Ehlers-Danlos nonsense. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit tired today, dealing with some fatigue, but if you guys don't mind sending love, prayer, light, healing to my dad, he's in Idaho right now. It's not coronavirus. I'm not really at liberty to say what's going on at the moment, but if you could pray for him, I would appreciate it. So thank you guys again for being here. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Drink water. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. And don't ever forget how precious you are. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you next time.